have to be consistent across the board. The problem is that it wasn't done properly by the contractors. So we have created a problem. It is inferior. And so that's the issue we're dealing with. I don't think we can start a new plan where Southcott Pines gets soil treatment because they have an agreement that says everything's going to be asphalted every time. That's not fair. But we learned of that. We learned a hard lesson this way. Now we have a new policy that says that we'll make sure that it's done properly, because a tar and chip road can have a reasonable surface for biking, for jogging, for everything like that from past experience. So it just may have to be reconsidered.
Yes, Mr. Mayor, just on point where I want the deputy to understand very clearly. This is not special treatment. This is not special treatment for a community. They happen to have an agreement, but this is not special treatment. We now have a policy, and we had the policy in place that said we will replace a road to the standard with which it was originally done. This wouldn't be an issue. It would have been done with asphalt. We didn't do that. And I'm not blaming the staff, because Brent wasn't even here when this original problem started. We cheaped out on the first 2 applications. It didn't work, and we tried it again, and it's still not working. So this is not special treatment. This is consistent, fair treatment throughout the municipality on asphalt roads for which we now have a policy. Just wanted to make that clear.
Okay, any more discussion on this? So we move down the list. I think staff understands that they want to look at how we can put this $340,000 into our capital program and what has to be taken out in order to make that happen.
Not quite 340, Mr. Mayor. It's 197 plus around 150. Not quite 340.
300,000.
Plus.
That has to come out of someplace else if we're going to put this in.
I was just thinking of like 4 or 5 other work.
I just bit the bullet for $370,000. You know, when I look at it, Jesus Christ.
Okay, we haven't made any decision yet. We've had a discussion, and that's the reality of it. If this goes in, we either raise the taxes another 3%, or we take something else in. That's kind of the bottom line. So, on to Thetford stormwater issues. That is in the budget, the $421,000. Pedestrian signals. The horse ranks. Right, come here. Oh, right, Councilor Russell.
Okay.
Who was first? I was looking down. Councilor Russell.
Sorry. Since it's a word thing, I'll talk to this one if you don't mind, Mr. Mayor. I just threw you a question to Brent. I know, and I shouldn't say it this way, but I'm going to. With the railroad being there and the way the streets relate to the railroad, we've had in the past issues of private-public lands and stuff. Are we? This is a large chunk of money. We're talking $450,000 for this first phase, and by the time we're done, this whole thing is going to be $1 million project in the next 5 years. I think we all understand that. I'm just wondering, are we going to run into any problems at this initial stage that we're going to run into private-public? You know, we got to buy land, or because of this strange, we've run into this before.
And through you, Mr. Mayor, and I guess to talk in a very general sense, because there is negotiations in process, and we, I would say we wouldn't have presented the project as it is if we thought there was going to be a significant roadblock. I believe we can work with property owners to make that portion of this project happen.
But I guess I would assume you would have done that. I'm just saying it's not additional to them, because we did on the one project this year. We went back and forth with some land right in the middle of pre-tender, if I remember correctly. So all I was getting to was, this is the type of thing where we're obviously talking right now about priorities. And obviously wards are coming into it. And I'll be very blunt. This is a safety thing. It was identified as a safety thing, but it's also multi-year. So I just want to make sure that the whole legal ramifications aren't going to. There's an additional cost to that. Is what I'm trying to say.
And through you, Mr. Mayor, we've done some very preliminary. We're only dealing with one property owner in this instance, and we've done some preliminary negotiating with that property owner, and we believe there is a very creative solution to make sure there's no cost increases.
Deputy Mayor Day.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. And through you to Brent, and wondering about the accessibility lights. Really pleased to see that we got $26,000 from the accessibility fund. I'm wondering if there's a greater need in Grand Band or Forest, and that whether we can address that first and then wait to see if the accessibility fund will provide the additional monies to do the other lights.
Through you, Mr. Mayor, when we applied for the funding program, we asked for 75% of the cost to be funded for the total project, and that's what they've given us. So they've given us the money already to do both locations.
Oh, it says the granted portion was delayed to help to maximize.
That's correct.
Okay.
Had we done Grand Bend this year, we wouldn't have qualified for any funding. It would have cost us $18,000 of our own dollars. So we did wait on that project, knowing that funding was coming, so that our net cost would be 14, and get twice as much work.
Yeah, 4 cents.
Yes.
So there's really no other chance we can get money from accessibility for instance. You say no chance.
I hate to say there's never no chance, but we did get approved in the second intake. In a very short period of time, they picked us up and approved us. So I don't suspect there's any more money.
Okay. So we move on down then. Fort Friends Hall, the accessibility, the elevator, outside lift. Dr. Scott?
I'll get there a contact because I'm an optimist, so. That's who's applied for to ask for it, so I'm sending that one.
Okay. Councilor Monster?
Well, if you're an optimist at budget time, you wouldn't want to be a pessimist. Just on this one, I think there are some legislative issues around this as well, correct? The Accessibility Act would suggest that there are some legislative concerns. But I think on this one, the stairs, I don't think, through you, Mr. Mayor, I don't think the stairs are safe in trying to accommodate a lift. You still have issues around mobility, and I think your report clearly indicates that the elevator is probably the best solution. But through fundraising and grants, and I think McDonald's has a grant in this area, how do you see the cost being mitigated? You got into the fundraising and grant business.
Yep, through you, Mr. Mayor. That's kind of what our recommendation on this project was that the council supported and tell the optimists that council blesses the project and allow them to apply for funding. There's certain restrictions in some of the funding programs if the municipality applies. But if a service club like the Optimists do apply, then we could get some grant funding, and that's exactly what the staff had hoped would happen with this project, that we form a partnership and we start doing the fundraising and grant applications.
Councilor Russell?
I know when we were putting the last phase of the hall together, the interesting part about that issue was that it wasn't dealt with then. Because the second half of the Optimist Hall is the original where they meet upstairs, which is in a way private. So the Accessibility Act really doesn't affect. And then by not putting it in when we did the third phase of the hall, we used it as a children's center for a while. It was a drop-in center for kids programming, and that's since gone to the wayside. I think the other bonus for this is if we do it in principle, like Brent's saying, and give the okay, what we're opening up is another opportunity for the use of that part above the library for a youth drop-in center, because we all know that that hall is by far the most overbooked hall in the community. It's just insane to be able to get it for anything because it's so well used. So I think that would really open up an opportunity, and I'd like to see us pursue that partnership idea with it, in my thought.
Okay. So that's one of the recommendations, the fourth paragraph on page 6. Okay, item 6, the launch ramp reconstruction. There's some options there for us.
I was just going to say to the Harbor Committee Chair, want to speak to that?
You didn't have his hand up, you did? Would you like to
He
speak to it?
started.
No, I'm fully with you.
Oh, okay. I'd like to hear the Harbor Committee Chair speak.
Would the Harbor Chair like to speak to this?
I think we gave direction in the Harbor Committee through Brent in the fall, early in the fall, that if we were able to expedite doing it in the fall because of weather and pricing differences, but subsequently we figured out that it was more to it than that. And I think Brent's report outlines this. The Harbor Committee as a whole, though,